It's your boy, Sue Flash Flash, back again, this time with a review of the movie Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, this movie's amazing. It's amazing. It's spectacular. It's ultimate. It's 2099. Get it? Because it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man puns. Anyway, I love this movie. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. I had a really good time. There were some faults. There was some things I didn't like, and some things that left me, quite frankly, scratching my head. But for the most part, pretty good. Pretty good. Let's start off with the stuff I liked. Tom Holland, again, really good Spider-Man. He's a really good Peter Parker. Complete total package. Him and Zendaya both did a really good job. Their chemistry off of each other, I would say it's even better than Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. Really good. They bounce off each other really well, and they make the scenes more awkward and makes it feel more realistic, like high school conversations. Ned is also pretty good. He's really good. He got a lot of funny jokes. But let's talk about the man who's still in the show, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Fury. Nick Fury out here still in the show. This Nick Fury in this movie is like the most Samuel L. Jackson that he's ever been as Nick Fury. It's so good. It's so good. Like he says all his lines with attitude, and it works so well. All his jokes hit, and his interactions with Spider-Man, because he's a grown man and he's such a little kid. The way they talk to each other, it's so funny. It's so funny. So Nick Fury still in the show. His jokes, the best laughs I've had in the whole movie. Let's talk about Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. Really good, really good. Well, you knew that was gonna be good because Jake Gyllenhaal is actually a really good actor, and he sells it. He sells the ups and downs of that character, and it works. And you believe him, and you believe everything he says. And you believe him, and you want to be on his side. And he's such a good character, and his character's well written, and so it works. The action really good. There's like dips. It has a steady stream of action, I would say. There's never a moment where it's too bogged down. Like it's like a 2-hour movie, and I want to say like most of it is action. There's things happening in it constantly. It doesn't feel like too much. There's one point in the movie where you're like, oh, this is the exposition part, but you know, what are you gonna do? They did a pretty good job for the most part. We'll get into that in the spoiler part of this review. Yeah, but it's good. It's fun. I enjoyed it. There's some real feels in this movie. Make you feel like, oh no, please, because of course, what happened after Endgame, and spoilers for Endgame if you haven't seen Endgame by now. It made $2.7 billion. The hell have you been doing? Where you been at? Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Tony Stark dies. So, and he was a father figure to Peter, obviously. So they touch on that a little bit in the movie, and there's one scene in particular towards the end where it gets really, really sad, and I heard people crying in my theater when it happened. And it's a tearjerker for sure. Obviously, it's an epilogue to the Avengers, and it's sort of going to set up the next phase or whatever of the next movies. But yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, go fucking see it. It's amazing. It's spectacular. I did that already. Sorry. This is the spoiler review. Let's talk about it. Now, if you didn't know, Jake Gyllenhaal, he plays Mysterio, which has always been, Mysterio's always been a joke character, a joke villain. He's like the Aquaman of villains, but like he's worse than Aquaman. When the movie started, my aunt asked me, hey, who's Mysterio? And then once I explained, oh, he's a joke villain that never really has any powers, I thought, oh, wait a second. They're probably gonna pull a switcheroo on this thing. I'm gonna think that he's a strong person, but he's not. And this is where I have a problem with Spider-Man Far From Home. This story it's a Spider-Man story, and it works as a Spider-Man story, but it's another movie where it's like, Tony Stark failed me, and I looked up to Tony Stark, and I thought he was gonna do this, and now he betrayed me, and I'm gonna get revenge on Tony Stark the only way I know how. And I get it, It makes sense because Tony Stark's dead, so it brings up emotions for Peter Parker, who was like his son, and blah blah blah. He wants to take over. He's not taking over the mantle, but taking over for him, helping save the world while he's gone, and that's like a big theme of this movie. But come on, people, come on, another story about, oh, you failed me, Tony Stark. But I did like it on the other hand because they did bring back people from the other movies, the other Iron Man movies, and they show you the scenes where they came from. Like Obadiah Stane yelling at the science dude when he's like, oh, we can't get the reactor smaller than this. And he was like, he was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps. They put that scene in the movie and they showed that guy who was in that scene. He was helping Jake Gyllenhaal at the end. And of course, I don't know if I said this already, Jake Gyllenhaal's a bad guy. You find out he's a bad guy and he's the one that wants to take his tech, and he tricks Spider-Man into giving him Edith, which is basically Jarvis in a pair of sunglasses that can control whole types of other shit. Another thing I didn't like during after Spider-Man gives him the glasses, he had like a little speech, and it's like the the speech is like the exposition speech because he's like, let's do cheers. Thank you to this guy who's the one to set up the illusions, and this girl who set up this, and that guy who set up that, and that guy who set up that. Like he's basically saying like, hey, this is how we fooled you, but let me explain every little detail, every person did, and how they fooled it. And it's just like too much at once. Like he's just literally going to person going, hey, yeah, you did this, and you did that, and you did this, and it just felt a little weird. One last thing I didn't like is that this movie completely wastes JB Smoove. Like JB Smoove is in this movie, and none of his lines or jokes are funny. I think he's ad-libbing the entire movie, and it just doesn't feel natural. I mean, it feels natural, but it's just not funny. They had another guy, I forget his name, who's like the other teacher. I'll probably put a picture of him somewhere up there. The guy who plays the other teacher, he's like the main teacher, and he gets all the funny lines. Like he's really funny in this. Well, not really funny. He's funny in this. He's funny in this movie. And then JB Smoove comes with the leftovers, and he's just like, yeah, but like there's no point of putting both of those guys in the movie. I didn't feel like there was reason to put both of them in the movie. One of them was enough. I understand there's a lot of kids, so you need two teachers to watch them all and all that, and it makes sense story-wise. But movie-wise, like they don't both serve the story. One of them's funny, and the other one's just not. Kobe Smulders is doing Kobe Smulders. Then she has 3 lines, and they're all serviceable. The last line when she shoots something down, and she gives like a little one-liner. That was cool. I was like, oh, go ahead, Kobe. That was good. But fuck all that. Fuck all of that. Who cares about the movie? Let's talk about these end credit scenes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about these end credit scenes. Blew my goddamn mind. Like, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. It's the end of Endgame, the epilogue. You gotta come with a bang. If I'm gonna sit for an end credit scene that's gonna show the next part of the event of the MCU, you gotta start off with a bang, and they did. Oh my god. Let's first talk about the most exciting part. Let's leave the most exciting part for last. So first he's having a date with MJ. He's swinging around with her. She's getting all scared. She's like, I'm never doing that again. Which I think will be more realistic than MJ in the Raimi universe, loving it. And like, it looks like he's swinging all slow and lovingly. I'm like, no, that shit's probably fast and crazy. And so she swings. She's like, I'm never doing that again. Don't ever do that to me again. And that was amazing. And then he drops off, and then Beck, right before he died, he created another illusion, and saying Spider-Man killed all these people when he was trying to kill everybody, and then he gave away his identity at the end. Like, his name was Peter Parker. I was like, yo, son, they were really gonna do this? So now, Spider-Man 3, the next Spider-Man movie, because they're definitely gonna do another one, it's gonna start off like John Wick 3, where everyone in the city is coming after him. They know who you are, they know what you look like, and they're coming after you. And I want to know, like, is there a villain is there a villain sitting around like, oh yes, I know who he is now. I can go look him up and find him and go kill him. Can't wait for that. That's gonna be interesting as hell. But fuck that. What got me really excited? My boy J.K. Simmons. My boy J.K. fucking Simmons. That's what. Yo, actually gonna be so hype. I could not contain myself. I was like, yes, J.K. Simmons. Back to reprise his role as J. Jonah Jameson, and it works so well. He still looks like J. Jonah Jameson. He's old, he's mad, he hates Spider-Man, and I was here for it every second. I fucking loved it. It was amazing. And then the second end credit scene, of course, you find out that Nick Fury was really a Skrull, and he was talking to Nick Fury like, hey, I think you should come back because blah, 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 blah. Nick Fury's taking vacation after all the shit he's been through. And then you see that he's in a Skrull ship or Skrull universe or whatever, and they're probably starting to set up the Skrull invasion, maybe, somehow, but they're all good guys, so I don't know. Maybe I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't read the Marvel comic books, so who knows. But yeah, it was a fun movie. Go see it. You'll enjoy it. You'll laugh. You'll cry maybe. You'll get action. You get adrenaline pumped. You'll have the feel goods. So this has been my review for Spider-Man Far From Home. It's worth it. Go see it in the theater, and I'll see you in the next one.